Well, hello again, guys. So my huge apologies for that. I'm not terribly sure what happened, but being Lucy's, we we're a very adaptable breed, as you well know. So I hope you can hear me, and I hope you can see as well. So everything just disappeared this end, so I just had to try and work out with my minimal technical knowledge of how to get on. So before we start, let's just check everything's going okay, guys. So if you can hear me, just say yes, and if you can see me, just say yes as well. That would be really good, so I can double check where we're at. And also, if there's another lady's voice, I heard Jenny say, there's no lady in the room, so it must be somebody else. So let's just see where we are. Great stuff, guys. Thanks for that. Appreciate what you're saying there. Right, let's get ready to rumble. Let's see how we go. If we do collapse again, guys, I'll put a little link on and we'll try it once more, but I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, apologies over. You're back. I'm back. Let's see where this takes us. Okay, loose painting, everyone. Sound good? So I won't do the welcomes again because just in case it goes AWOL. So remember the scamp. Let's cast a mind back to where we were at with our approach. Simple scamp for a start. So we're just going to do a simple one this week to get ourselves back into the mood and back into the swing of things. And it is interesting that when you leave it off for a while, things do disappear. So you do have to keep at this. And the more you do, the better you get. It's a very interesting phenomena. And even for me, I have to do the same. So let's get a little rectangle going. Long. In fact, let me twist that round. No, that's not going to work. Forget that. Take it all back. You see I've been away for a couple of weeks. Rectangle, long rectangle. All we need are a few shapes, disc shapes. Cascading, nice word, one I've learnt. Just down the image, high to low, high left to low right. So got all that, just going down. So again, guys, if you could just tap to see everything's still okay. Little disc shapes all cascading this way, lines going this way, not just all of the same angle, but varying the lines. And then this is going to be a dark shaded area. Woo indeed, woo indeed. Great stuff. Okay, welcome back, guys, welcome back. So there is the simple scamp, disc shapes cascading down. These are more of an angle, so the thinner but the long, and then these are a bit more face on, so they're a little bit wider. Then we've got a few little lozenge shapes like that, like sweets you maybe have in your mouth when you're doing a long plane journey. So I got through about 3 bags of Werthers, which are a traditional English sweet, in short supply now because I ate most of them. So Peter the propelling pencil, let's just transfer this over to our decent paper. So £140 not paper. I'll make it smaller because this is good area to test things out and it holds things in position. So got that going on. Just got a suggested line coming down for a start, and then we're going with the lozengey shapes. Now we don't have to use all these specifically. We can just use the ones we like and ignore the rest. But it gives us a little bit of structure and a bit of framework to everything. Doing this lightly. There's the original, so we can just compare it to how deep, how dark you can go on there. But on the actual paper, I don't want to press on too much, so bear with, and it'll all be referenced back to the scamp. So got that on. Doesn't seem much to it. That's because there isn't, but we've got it all in place and we're ready to rumble. So got my palette ready. I'll do you a little fly past. Look at that. How cheerful is that? And that's really how I keep my palette. Now I know you might think that could do with a spring clean. but it can't really because it's watercolor, so you can refresh it and get it going again. Usually I put everything out in a nice flat line, but with this I squeezed it a bit hard and it all come flooding out. So again, I lost the technique for putting the paint out, but put it out in a nice flat line. I've got lemon yellow, cad orange, cad red. That is permanent rose. I've got a little bit of permanent Perulian violet just there. These are sepia, Windsor violet. No, sorry, that's mauve, and that's indigo. A couple of blues, light blue and dark blue. Cerulean, and I think that's intense blue, maybe ultramarine, about the same. And then I've got sap green and Perulian green. Ooh, what a feast! What a feast! So, okay, got all that, guys. So is the volume okay, guys? Just checking. You see I'm a novice at this. Right, there we go. Brill. There's the scan. I'm working flat. This is not on an easel, it's flat directly onto the table. So let's get ready to get these guys some work. We're going to start off with Big Brian. Yep. So there he is. He's big and he's Brian. That's where he gets his name from. Water on the brush. I'm just going to plonk some down on some of these disc areas. Yeah, there's a little bit of what should we say, coloration in the water, but don't worry about that. I'm going to start off with permanent rose. This is a Cotman's color. All I'm going to do, splonk. That's a mixture between splosh and plonk it down. Just shapes, nothing more. So got all those on, maybe one there as well. How could I miss that one? Cleaning off the paint, bit of water again. I'm going to pick up cad red top side. That's not a slice of beef, it's the top side of that image or that disc of colour. Just blonking it down. Splonk, plonk, diggity bonk. There we go. So got all of those on. Quite crazy. Great stuff, Sally. Well done. You're doing fine, guys. You're doing so fine. Got all that on, guys. Now we're going to go around this area and we're going to have a mix of cad orange and sap green. What a treat. A bit of water. Again, this is really supposed to be water. Dragging some up, not really touching the red if I can help it. Some will bleed back. Getting it fairly close, bit beyond lapel. And then we've got cad orange and sap green mixed together. Yeah, so there are they. All I do, drag some of this in the direction going across the page. I'm trying to vary the directions, not just straight lines. I'm trying to swoop them over. Now don't worry about getting right up to the edge of the discs, as I'm calling them at the moment, because I can move that around in a few moments. The few moments are here. Don't hang about in this game. So now I've got just sap green. Dragging that down over the top, which is how I live my life. There it is, Sapulus greenicus. But I'm chopping around these shapes. Leaving a bit of a margin over the top of some of them, of just white. And really just building that up. So don't be too deliberate with it, miss bits out, add bits in, but don't just go around the actual colour that's fallen there. Just decide by placing the brush down and moving it about. Got that on? Now I'm going to go for a bit of Perulian green. long marks, long lines. Now I'm chasing around the shapes a little bit more. Generally the top edge. So really we're getting a lot of coverage. And then flipping the brush back and just chasing that in. So leave that for the moment. Then just over this top edge, I want to go Dark and Dangerous. Dark and Dangerous with Andrew Geeson and the Loose Gang. This is alternating between mauve and ultramarine blue. So gradually just pulling that back. Again, just over the top there, a little bit of darkness up here. This is where you negatively pick out your little light areas. And tiny little pushes in, great phrase, are enough to define the shape. So got that on. Quite a blast of stuff going down. Now I can refine a little bit more, just moving the shapes around, but never undervalue the effect of light, just leaving white paint, white areas. So got all that on. A little bit of TT almost. Oh, there's the torn and there's the tissue. A few little marks in there, picking off. Also a little bit of scrunginess and making a nice line. Just dropping that down. So it's picking some bits off as we go. Right, let's have a little look. So now we're just going to use Miss Rigger, who's journeyed far and wide. So now we're just going to use a little bit of Permanent Rose and Cad Red. All we're going to do is plonk it down and push it back wherever it may roam. Yeah. So there's 1, 2. So you can make a straight line and pull it back this way, or flip it in, just using this top edge to define the inside of the flower. Well, that's what it is. Dropping that in. So the further down you bring this pigment, the more it will suggest you're looking inside the flower. Got a little bit there. So I'm not sure if there's any type going up, guys. I can't read anything this end, so I do apologise if you're asking questions and I'm aloof. But there's nothing being typed on at the moment, which is could be another little glitch that we need to sort out in the future. So just dropping those in. They're the centres of the flowers. Just pop back in and pick a little bit off. So again, you plonk it down and you pick it off. And you see what happens. And the little story unfolds before your very eyes. So got that on again. Now we'll pop back in with a bit of green work. So just little lines running through. So you see how I placed the brush, the misrigger down, and just move it back and forth. Trying to alternate the line. So it's not just one very direction, fixed direction. Flip that up, flip it down, flip it round. Yum, that going that way. So you've got some on, then just cross a few over and it just varies the angle each time. You want very, very symmetrical finish. And these could either be, these really are depicting negative shapes. So you get a few lines on, the eye will pick them up as either stems or gaps between stems like these. So these little white areas or lighter areas just give a bit of definition to the area. It's dropping it on, change colour a little bit. Just under the said poppies, just drop a little bit of dark area as if that's that sort of bulb that joins it to the stem. And a chaotic sort of shape is good rather than a very specific detailed or defined image. That's for the bulbs on there, better on there, maybe gone out in the mist. She does. Oh yeah. Oh, we've got sound. We've got everything going on, guys. Everything. We've got sound. We've got lights. We've got a rigger. I've got biscuits, but they're all gone. I would share the biscuits with you guys, but gone. I'm afraid. So again, down in this bottom corner, we can make it a little bit darker and richer. Somewhere for the eye to focus and balance against the plethora of darkness over there. Nice word again. New words. I brought a carrier bag full of new words back. So plonking that on. It's also just in the sours. Just going to do that. That's dark. That's indigo. And there's a bit of mauve thrown in there. Again, just chipping around this top edge. New top edge, that's one, and this is the second. So just floating that over the top again. You're more than welcome, Ton44, beautiful name. But my pleasure. I hope you get some knowledge and fun out of the whole experience. So again, just little drops in there. So we don't do the same, we don't have to do them all, although most likely we'll leave those two. So they disappear a bit, they go into the distance. So got that on. Now I'm just going to throw a bit more dark in the back here, but I can throw a bit around some suggested leaves that have actually come beyond the foliage. And for a new book, Beyond the Foliage. Got that on. Also, just water now. Well, almost clean water, just an example. But I'm using that just to move this paint about. So I'm not picking every time. I am just moving about what's on the page. Really a bucket of stuff just here. That's just pigment, but I'll move that with water in a second. So I'll do 2 or 3 little bursts of dropping the colour down, and then just throw the water on to move it. And again, negatively picking out these top edges, and this is where you can just be a bit more gentle with it. Again, maybe the centre of some of these flowers, a bit of water. This will allow this to float off in a soft way and extend it. Remember to clean your brush each time, otherwise you're just going to carry the unknown, which you don't really need. So tiny little bit of cad red. Extend a few of these out just a little. Again, a bit of water, bleed them off. So you position it, you pop back, and then you do the job required then. Remember where it's joined. Few little bits in here. These are just thrown on very randomly. Really, I'm just thinking about getting some depth of colour in there. And then it gets less and less. And then we got this background over here that really allows us to define the edge of light and dark. Final few little flicks at the top as if maybe stuff's going down the other way, but again, negative. Always think it's negative. And don't be put off by the word, it's very simple. You leave the white light area and you paint around it. Light, paint round. So got that. Just flicking that about. And just allow these marks to continue. That's all they are. Think of them as marks, not as objects, because that will allow the viewer to determine the image. Again, getting through some water. Oops, a little twist there. Again, you've got this on, then you can move it about with water even more. So, tiny bit more, dabbing about. Let's complete a few of these stems. Throwing that on. throwing it off. So still a little bit of water on the brush, Miss Rigger. Got a little. So just running this through the paint. So you can't see much at the moment, but then I apply a piece of this, which is kitchen tissue. Then that picks up a nice little bit of texture at the top edge there. So you're not having to paint around everything. You can throw it on, then lift it off. So again, kitchen tissue. And really the excitement in making these little marks, just removing paint and see where it actually takes you. Again, a few little marks. You know, you can go until the sheep come home, or cows, or both of them together, maybe on a motorbike and sidecar. But initially just do it for the learning process and the pleasure of seeing what happens with the different marks you actually make. Whack a bit in there. Anytime you lift off, you can go back in and re-strengthen it. So you're making no commitment to say that's exactly as it is and it's going to stay there. It's just a fluid sort of all the way through. So anyway, guys, there is about this one rejoining and re-getting together, which has been interesting again. Sorry about the introduction at the beginning where we disappeared, but I know you Lucies are adaptable. That's one of the great little qualities of this style of painting. See an opportunity, go for it, and don't be dissuaded. So I think you've proved yourself more than adequate for the job. So I'm going to put this one on this week's challenge, guys. So this is one to have a go at. The tutorial will be on there, or the broadcast. So have a go on that, post away, have a good time and really enjoy it. And don't worry at all if you you know, you feel slightly not the best at this style at the moment. The thing about this site, and I constantly say it, it's about the enjoyment and the learning of the process. It really is. So we're not on about wait until you really feel you've cracked it before you put anything on. Put stuff on. Everybody's very, very supportive. So we'll do this one as this week's challenge. I throw down that gauntlet, but I will be posting an awful lot now. I'm actually back and got everything sorted. We've got a couple of little things. We've got the website again that's going really well, and thanks so much for everyone on there and your support and your constant popping on there. I've got new videos to put on. New one will be on tomorrow, and there was one new one on a couple of days ago, so I'm going to put a big group of stuff on there. I want to do a sketchbook challenge again for 7 days, which we did before. Yeah, fun and successful, and we had a cascade of everybody throwing stuff on. So I'm going to do a few of the photos that I've still got. Now my big holiday's out the way, so we're putting those on, and then I'll be putting a message out to send in photos of our next chosen subject. So that will be very, very soon. I think that's about it. Also, we've got the guys that are going to join me in Wales, which is only in 2 or 3 weeks' time. So really looking forward to that, guys, and I'll send a message out to all of you about the proceedings for that. And also Eshott Hall, which is up in Northumberland, again at the end of October. And again, messages and details will be going out in the next couple of days. So again, looking forward to a big get-together. So bring your smile, bring your brushes, and have a great time. So thanks again, guys. Take care for the rest of the week, and see you very, very soon. Goodbye.